Hi. I watched a movie, The 3000 Years of Longing. So, it was a good movie. I was captivated. So, yeah. I did nothing else. I just ran the program to see what the current validation error is, and it is this. So not. Descriptor set number 0 being bound is not compatible with overlapping descriptor set layout at index 0 of M pipeline layouts. I feel that after everything I did with descriptor sets and layouts, I should just understand this sentence, but I don't. Why is this so difficult to understand? Well, there is a difference, of course. Descriptor set is one thing, and descriptor set layout is something else. And if you have a descriptor set layout at index 0, then that is the layout that corresponds to descriptor set number 0, I guess. Due to descriptor set layouts this is a debug name. So all of this is a debug name. I think including that. So it's just number 2. It's a pipeline layout. No, that cannot be. This must be number 3. Let's put the same name here. It's a descriptor set layout. And the name that I give it is the name of, yeah, I guess a map that it's being stored in. And then the key, which exists of set layout, a set layout vector, I guess. You wrote, you assumed you could write a game in one day, or? I don't know what the SFML is, but writing a game seems a lot of work, more like years than one day. What is this meaning? Descriptor set 0 being bound is not compatible with overlapping. What do they mean with overlapping? Descriptor set layout at index 0. Okay, well, the key shows the number of descriptors. So yes, this is just a single one, and this has 2. Yeah, I see. I never think I cannot do it. I just don't give up, and then in the end you can do it. But it takes a lot of time. Okay, I guess I just have to go up again. In draw frame, oh yeah, of course, this is my function, and the function that causes the validation error is called to bind descriptor sets. Yeah, I think I get it. So I'm doing first this one, that is the left triangle, which is then drawn, and then we do this for the second triangle, which is then drawn. And the big difference is that here I pass top first and then left and then bottom, and here I have switched left and top, which only works if the layout is different. So here we have pipeline 1 and then the layout thereof, and here we have pipeline 2 and then the layout thereof, and those should be different. Now I have the feeling they are the same. So that is the layout handle of the first one. What happened? Print all of it. And it is the same. So if it works for the first one, then obviously it's not working for the second one. And we can be pretty yeah, it's pretty clear that there should be different layouts if I want to pass this in this order. The reason they are the same is because, well, it said that they are the same. They are the same. The only thing I have to do is swap these two things. Then it works. Or does it? Because also the shaders are different. I'm not sure where I would get that from. That would be this. I need to have a different pipeline handle. I think this defines the shader. So if those are different, they are different. Now we might have different shaders. Yep. So let's say my engine wants to use the same layout, because why not? Which then requires that this is reordered, because why not? And if then it works, then it's completely right to want that. So I have, let's try that. That would be line 619 in this file. Well, that's close enough. Do you think I'm too slow? I have the feeling that if I would watch this myself, I would be like, why is this guy so slow? I'm getting bored. I don't know. Maybe on the other hand, it's just easier to follow if you watch someone do things well, as slow as I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm going to try to duplicate it and comment it out, and then I'm going to try to swap these two. And if then the whole program works, then my engine has a point, right? And really I should just automate. It seems to work. No validation errors. top, left, and bottom. Yep. So that works. I think the whole problem is that it just reuses the layout, because let me write it to a log file. Because somewhere I had something like that does not exist. Let's say not exist. Nope. Doesn't exist. What the hell does exist? What? Exist. Huh. Okay, I don't believe that. Exists. What was that debug output? Fucking memory. At least I found it. Not found in cache. And found in cache. Okay, so pipeline layout and then not, or what, just found in cache is probably better. Yeah, I have not found in cache, and then again not found in cache, and then we have found in cache. 3 times. Well, I expected only 2. So I guess that one of them is the IMG, so dear IMG, yeah. Which one? Or does it not matter? Triple one is doing something with uniform buffers. No, that must be it. That must be the test program. And then maybe threadpool 3 try in place. Also uniform buffers. What? Well, what I don't know. Let's not waste time with that. The point is that the second time it does find it in the cache, so it's just reusing the old layout. And the interesting part of that is this happens during a call to, let me see, that would be this call. Yes, yes. So it says try in place is just stolen from the C++ standard for maps, and I couldn't think of a better phrase. What I mean with this is that it creates it or doesn't, depending on whether or not it finds it. If it already exists, it does not create it. If it does not exist, it does create it. I think somewhere else I was using the word realize. Maybe I should use that here as well. So realize pipeline layout. It's maybe less confusing. It's kind of the same thing. Pretty sure. Yeah, let me do that. I'm going to use the word realize, which is also an invention of me, but you've got to do something. So let's rename this till that's all several files again. I'll also have a try in place here. I'm not feeling sure that this rename would be correct. So where do I use realize? Realized. Then I write it out like this. Somewhere else. TPSX realize. This one. I have a realized descriptor set layouts. And we have a realized handle. I think I'm done with what is up here, right? Probably should store that one instead. Store the CXX file rather than the declaration. Fill this. Oh, it's still in the header. Looking ahead file 2 for possible comment. Look up sorted bindings in cache and create a new handle if it doesn't already exist. That super much sounds like try in place. Oh yeah, this is being used as the key, as the comment also says. So looking up in a map, we use just that. And then here I use try and place. Okay, yeah, they are definitely the same thing. I guess I use try and place when it is a member of logical device and realize otherwise. So that's on the logical device. Let's just look for the okay, yeah, it's try and place is only used for the logical device. Okay. Well, I want to go back again to that other file. I don't know anymore where it is, and I don't even know how I found it. The last time. I can scroll up maybe. I think I was looking for try and place, actually. Yeah, here. This one? Yep. Okay, so we're calling this, and then I'm passing a sorted set layouts container. Vector of set layout. It's time to add a lot of documentation here, I feel. Set does not seem the right word here. And believe it or not, I don't know. So I'm going to look in my code where this is being assigned and where it comes from. I mean, it should be simply constructed from m-sorted bindings, but I can't type that here unless I'm 100% certain, I think. That's strange. Oh, here. Okay. Once realized, m handle is initialized. Yes. Totally constructed from. You can do this, I guess. So the handle of a descriptor set layout that was created, that is created with yeah, let's say from meh. Right. It's so annoying to have to write a lot of code based on something that I feel has to be replaced. I'm so not happy with the existence of set index hint. Nonetheless, now I even have to document how what it does. Well, it currently does. I don't know. Our set indexes. That at some point I just picked indexes over indices. I'm sticking to it, I guess. Set index int are set indexes that will be used. Well, that's how it is now. I can't help it. When the pipeline layout doesn't exist yet. Yeah, we did that today. So we scroll down here, you see the here the pipeline is not found in the cache. Then what is done is I'm copying the set layouts to this vector, where we use the set index of the layout. That's the thing that I'm talking about in the comment double as the index, and then this thing, which is just a standard vector of descriptor set layout things, are passed to the great pipeline layout, which causes them to be the set indexes. So this is where my hint becomes real. But if we do find pipeline layout already, then that is not the case. I want to document here what happens in that case, because it's going wrong. Let's see. Pipeline layout is considered to already exist when it was created before from a vector of set layout objects. Okay, this one that had the same m-sorted binding. So the order here, there is no order. I mean, they are sorted. The vectors are sorted. So if they have the same m-sorted bindings vectors, then they are automatically also in the same order when passed as the sorted set layouts container, which is also a vector. So they're just completely identical then, ignoring the members mhandle and mset index of the layouts that are stored. Maybe I should add an example. And where's my music? It's again broken. All the time I get this. Audio device got stuck. I don't like that at all. Yeah, if I run this again, we get again the same music, which is a bit too fast. Skip this one. Hey, what? Whoa, immediately. That's a new one. Let's play that same thing again. And now it works. Except that I'm not hearing anything. Can't open audio device. Yeah, what? Right, so example. I guess I should, it's also important to say that I'm ignoring the bindings, right? What exactly is it comparing of this thing here? I'm only comparing the descriptor type and the count and the stage flags, and else everything except the binding. Now I have to come up with a good example. Okay, for example, Going to ignore immutable samplers as well, I think. In fact, I should ignore everything except one of the relevant things. Probably can ignore descriptor count as well, because it doesn't really matter for the story here. Set it always to 1, I guess. Now m-sorted bindings is also a vector. So let's make 2 of those. So rather I have 2 elements of these. That doesn't work. Oops. Now I could, I mean the bindings must be different, obviously. But if I call them 0 and 1, then you might think that they are ordered by binding, which is explicitly ignored. So let's put binding 1 first. And then yeah, these must be, the last 3 lines must just be different. So I'm going to put them on the same line to make sure that, you know, you should more or less look at it as one thing. And then I want them to be the same or different. What do I want? Let's make them different. Let's make them a lot like what I have in the test case. So whatever they are different now, and they have different bindings. And then I can have at index 1 yeah, what? Let's now swap them. Have 2 anyway, or just 1 maybe. Let's try it with 1 first. And it's more likely to be a uniform buffer. These two are exactly the same now. I should pick a different binding, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna swap these two. And then call this binding 0 and this binding 1. And I'm using an equal sign here. Well, it's good enough, I think. Right, so now oh, my mom says I have to go to bed. Actually, Danielle's saying it. Diddly doo 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 doo. The binding numbers can be different. Swapping these. Okay, let's redo this. On second thought, I want to do it also like this. Yeah, with only zeros and ones, there's not much you can do, right? Okay, since they are the same, they are also ordered the same. This one will come first, that one will come second, and even this vector is also sorted in the same way. but the value of the binding does not have any influence on the sorting, so I can just change it. And the same for that thing. I think there's just one thing that I have to do. I just need to return a map between the set values and the binding values that come in, and the one that should be assumed for whatever is actually being used. So for the handle that is returned. So notation set dot binding. We have simply a swap of the set, and then of the set that has two bindings, also the binding has swapped. So it is from to, let's say the second is the from. Then that is the one has two, and the 0, so 0 0, and we have 1 0 and 1 1. And 0 0 goes to 1 0, and this goes to 0.1, and this goes to 0.0. And at first sight, I thought, or my first idea was to change this container, just simply override the values, but I think a map might be more logical. So I'm going to pass a map. Pass it here. I might also need a map in the end for the push constant. Not sure. Should I take those along like right away? Let's have a quick look if this is easy or not. Push constant range contains offset in the size or in the stage flags. So I guess I have I guess I have a push constant range compare. Okay, all three are taken into account. Stage flags here, and if those are equal, then the offset and otherwise the size or something like that. Oh no, yeah, I'm treating them as ranges which so the offset must be less, and the offset plus size must be less than the other offset plus size. So they are allowed to overlap, but both the begin and the end must be less than the other. Yeah, there's no binding with set numbers in there, so I don't think anything can go wrong really. No map is required. That's not entirely true. You could say that you can enlarge the range a little bit to make them equal. But let me not do that right now, because I'm just never getting to anything beyond a triangle if I continue this way. Even this is already near ridiculous. So I'm going to pass back a map, I think, from I don't like to use standard pair. Let me just create a new class for this. Set binding. Okay, so now I have to fill this map. Maybe filling is easier when I first define the set binding thing. New header file. No descriptor yet. Strange. Don't tell me it already failed again. Yep, it did. Let's restart the music. Well, I don't know. What shall we do with it? Construct it. Yeah, if I can help it, if it works without the default constructor, then I will be more happy. So let's try. Let's begin with that. Binding is binding. I thought maybe it's faster than using the mouse, but no. Okay, then I want to be able to print absolutely everything. In order to be able to do that, I have to add okay, and if, yeah, thank you very much. Void print on standard O stream reference OS const. And let's just include debug. It's probably a bit lazy. Yeah, it's kind of nonsensical, but okay. Okay, I'll not do that. We need include iOS forward with a standard O stream. But then again, we need a set index hint, so it was all yeah, that's this one. Set index also includes a hint, and that includes a utils vector, which just that, yep, which includes vector index. Nah, whatever. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is not included yet by including. that thing, which you also need. Okay, so now we have everything except obviously the print on and accessors. Let me first do the print on. Do we first print on? Okay, print on. Include system H, include set binding dot H, the namespace. Let's copy that. This is so repetitive work. Every class you have to do this. I mean, most of it includes namespaces. I mean, it's really annoying that after all those years, oh, maybe I'm just using the wrong edit. I don't know, how is that in modern IDEs? Can you just hit one key and you get all this? AI should be able to do this. And they are able to do this, but nobody is releasing an AI that can help me with this. I think it's super annoying. Yeah, what are my members? I forgot, of course. Well, really? Did I forget that? No. Set index hint and in binding. Okay, we have everything. I guess it was in this file. So we have to fill this map, and if we have to create it, then it's just one-on-one. Where the set binding is set binding, the type, and I had to create that, right? Directly. It's maybe slightly well, Oh, let's do it anyway then. So index hint and binding. Now let's use it directly. Layout. I don't like the look of it. Instead, I'm going to do a try in place. Although, no, I'm even going to do insert, just because it reads best. But then the rest is a bit stupid. Standard make power. That should work. Yeah, I still need my binding, so I need to run over something and then get my binding. How do I do that? What do I run over? All the bindings, right? It's just all the bindings and layout. I think so. Set layout. Sorted bindings. Let me have a access over that. No accessor. Unacceptable. I mean right now, because I didn't look for a while. So I went 2 minutes ago. Oops. Did you ask that? Well, and now something else again. It was almost finished already. But you can go to tunetank.com/epic and then you should be able to find those. And you can even download them for free. I also have it in the description. Right, what is this? What do we do next? Oh yeah, I was going to run over all the bindings. That is, I just added an accessor. That gives me sorted bindings. Probably not the best thing to do here, but now binding has the type of M sorted bindings. M sorted bindings. Well, whatever that stores bindings. Which is this thing? Maybe we should explicitly call that. Just make it a const reference. And then I want the binding of that. Okay, I'm gonna call it the full name, descriptor set layout binding. But then I have to do dot binding. It's kind of stupid. It's only in one place anyway. Well, I think this works, and you know how that goes. If it compiles, then it works, so I don't even have to test it. I only have to see if it compiles, and if it compiles, then, well, next. We're going to get a linker error. Oh, we're going to get a compile error. Out of line definition, drawing places pipeline layer. Oh, right. Yeah, well, that one doesn't count. I just added this new argument here. So this is a try in place pipeline layout. Try in place, so it's already here. So I just put this here and then try again. Now I get a linker error. This is me showing off. Still no linker error. Right? Set binding and namespace. Oh yeah, that too. Really? No, I added that. I did add it. What namespace are we in then? Descriptor. Descriptor. Totally should work. Set binding. Okay, did not add it. I did not add it. The binding. I'm using NeoVim. But I'm pretty sure you asked it for some other reason. What made you ask this question? Alright, now I have to pass that map here. There was a standard map of descriptor. Don't even know that we are on vulkan. You're gonna be kidding me. Descriptor. Set binding Probably should make a using for it, some new type. Finally, no, not set binding. Did you mean descriptor set binding? I'll still say that none of this counts. They're all close to typo problems. Oh no, this one isn't. A static assert. It's definitely. Wait, I have to scroll up. Invalid operands to binary expression. Oh, yeah, you cannot just use set binding in a map without adding a compare thing to it. Let's. I think I added, yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, this is used as a key. I don't really like to make that. Well, let's make it a friend. It's a binary operator, so I want to see my left hand side and right hand side. Cons my ass. It's a friend. I'll never get this done right. And yeah, to hell with the linker error, I'm just going to run configure. No more linker error. So, yeah, Darby, are you still here? Well, it compiles, so it works. That's what we say, and then continue. If the pipeline is found, then we get to do something useful, namely fill it. The weird thing is that this did not fail, this assert, and still it went wrong. That is really strange. Probably pretty close to that. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so running over the set layouts in input and output, and then running over the bindings in those vector inside a vector, and then we simply create two set bindings for the in and out, and then we add that to the map. Methinks that should work, but it doesn't because we don't use it yet. So interesting, I think, would be to see the result of this, which means that I'm just going to print what the map is upon return. Hopefully that prints. And does. How about that? Okay, things still work. Oops. I said it doesn't work. Oh, yeah, well, I made it work with a slight hack. So what am I looking for now? No idea. This set binding map is. So here it prints pipeline layout not found in cache. It means we just need we just create it and we use the values as they were. So we get a map that is just one-on-one. See if we can understand if that is the case, because it looks damn difficult to me. It prints a type apparently. So vulkan descriptor set binding is key and vulkan descriptor set binding is output with a standard less of just the element, and then we get a pair. That's the input. First set index hint is 0 and the binding is 0. And the second is then the translation. And indeed it is a identity. It's the same thing. 0, 0 goes to 0, 0. Then we get 1, what is it? 0, 1 goes to 0, 1. 1, 0 goes to 1, 0, and 2, 0 goes to 2, 0. So there is absolutely no difference whatsoever. Next, we found it in the cache, and now I hope it's not the identity here. 0, 0 goes to 0, 0. 0, 1 goes to 0, 1. Annoying. 1, 0 goes to 1, 0, and 2, 0 goes to 2, 0. So yeah, nothing changed. How is that possible? That it's very late, so I'll have to do that tomorrow. I'm going to bed. I don't know what is going on. It's probably trivial. It's most definitely trivial. It's going to take me a whole day to find it. Oh, okay, not 2 hours. Hopefully 2 hours. At least 2 hours, maybe 4 hours. So good night everyone. And yeah,